Hello friends, it's Kristie Marcotte. Today I'll be making some cards using Dragonfly Stamps and dies from Honeybee Stamps' brand new Modern Spring release. For the first card, I'm using some of the pattern paper from the Modern Spring 6x6 paper collection. I'll be layering the two pieces on some gold pearlescent cardstock. I am following a card sketch for inspiration. This is from Sketch Saturday. It's number 694. And if you are interested in this sketch with the measurements, I do share that on my coordinating blog post. That link is provided in the description box below. All of my cards in this video are American Standard A2 size, 5.5 inches by 4.25 inches. For the two banners that are in the upper right hand corner, I'm using some dark blue cardstock. That's for the larger banner. And then that small banner, I'm using some more of the gold pearlescent cardstock. I just cut the fishtails by hand, put some ATG tape on the back of this first banner and adhere it to the card. Trying to make sure to get it nice and straight. I'll use some of Honeybee Stamps liquid glue to adhere this pearlescent banner. For the circle element on the card, I'm using another pattern paper. It's hard to see on the video, but it's a very light wood grain pattern. I cut this out using the Scallop circle dies by Honeybee Stamps. And just for some extra stability and dimension, I cut out a second circle die cut from some heavyweight cardstock, and I'll just glue those two pieces together. And I'll adhere them to the card using some liquid adhesive. I did put my acrylic block on top for some extra weight while I let that glue adhere. Next, I'll be adding an image using the Lovely Layers bug set. For my card, I decided to go with the Dragonfly. I cut out the body from the same gold pearlescent cardstock, and the wings I used one of the pattern papers that's included in the Modern Spring collection. It's this lovely ombre blue design. So I'll just glue those two pieces together. I know it's hard to see in the video, but the Dragonfly dies have amazing detail. You'll be able to see it more on my close-up pictures. Put a little bit of liquid adhesive on the back of just the body and glue that Dragonfly onto the scallop circle. For the sentiment, I'm using the Get Well Soon stamp and coordinating die set. I've already stamped out Get Well Soon. I'm using the coordinating die to cut that out. I love having the coordinating dies with the stamp set. That way I don't have to do any fussy cutting. Now using that same coordinating die, I cut out a second piece from the gold pearlescent cardstock and I layered the two pieces together, offsetting them slightly so you can see just a peek of that gold paper from behind. I'll be adhering it underneath the Dragonfly. First, I will add a small scrap piece of cardstock just on the very right-hand side of the sentiment where it goes off of that circle die cut. That way everything's at the same level. Then to finish off the card, I'll add some of the new warm pearls. There's this beautiful gold color that matches nicely with the gold pearlescent cardstock. So there is my finished card, and I did make two using this design. The Dragonfly is my favorite from the Lovely Layers bug set. For my next card, I'm using one of the new cover plates. This is Secret Garden A2 cover plate. I cut out two of them, one from some light green cardstock and the second from some white pearlescent cardstock. I did trim down the white piece just a tiny bit since I'll be layering these two pieces together, and I still want them to fit on an A2 size card. I'll be adhering the two pieces together using Honeybee Stamps liquid glue, but I also decided to use some of the tear tape. This is the 1/8 of an inch, and I'll cut just that thin piece and put it around the outside border. You can actually tear this tape, but I like to use scissors to cut it so it has that nice clean edge. So now I'll go ahead and add some liquid adhesive. Don't need to put it on every single piece, but I want to make sure to get good coverage so there isn't one area that pulls up. I don't want those leaves to get stuck on the envelope or any of the bling. So now I can remove the release paper and layer these two die cuts together. So you can see how some of the white cardstock is peeking through from behind. I did have a little bit of the white cardstock showing through on the right side. I just used my scissors to cut that off. Now to go behind my window, I'll be using some of the Gingham Galore Spring Collection, this beautiful soft green color. But first I need to put adhesive on the back again. So I'm using the 1/8 of an inch tear tape and also the liquid adhesive. Once I apply glue to all of those areas on the leaves, I can remove the release paper and then I'll attach the gingham paper directly on top. So I'm keeping those die cuts upside down, then just adhering that pattern paper on top. And then that little bit of extra that's on the right hand side, I just used my trimmer to cut off. I'll put some ATG tape on the back of this panel and attach it to my card base. Now I can start working on the dragonfly images. I'm using the Dragonfly Stamp set. There's 3 different dragonflies. If you love to color, this is a great set, but if you're like me and you really don't color, this set works nicely as well. So I'm using some pattern paper from an older honeybee stamp collection. This is their team tie-dye, and I selected this beautiful pattern. I'll be using just that bluish green stripe on the pattern paper. So I've inked up 2 of the stamps using the intense black ink, and I'm stamping them directly onto the pattern paper. Then I'll take the coordinating dies. I'll tape those down onto the pattern paper, run it through my die cut machine, and here are the results. It's beautiful design, and I didn't have to do any coloring. I will be popping up just the wings. I'm using some of the thin foam strips from Honeybee Stamps. I love these strips. It's a nice thin dimension. It's very easy to cut, so you can put it just where you want it. I'll remove the release paper, then add liquid adhesive on the area where I didn't add the foam dimension. I really just want the wings popped up slightly. The one dragonfly with both wings extended, I'll put in the upper right hand corner. And the second dragonfly that looks like it's sitting, I'll tuck it underneath one of the leaves in the lower left hand corner. For the sentiment on my card, I'll be using the Small Card Big Hugs Stamp and Coordinating Die Set. I've already stamped and cut these out just to save on time. It says, "Life is better with you." I'll glue those down using liquid adhesive and adhere them in the upper left-hand corner. I like how the sentiments on this set are in 2 parts. So you could stamp one on the outside of the card and adhere the second part of the sentiment on the inside. But for this card, I'm putting them both together. In the lower right-hand corner, I'm adding a couple of the Whimsical Spring Flower dies. So I cut both of the main flowers out of some white pearlescent cardstock. I used the same pattern paper that I used for the dragonflies for the inside portion of the flowers. I used more of a greenish color for the outside piece and then yellow for the very center of each of the flowers. I'm just gluing all these together using liquid adhesive. I love the etch detail on all of the dies. It's very pretty. The center of this second flower is super small, so I did grab my embellishment wand to pick it up. Then I'll put liquid adhesive on the back and adhere both of them in the lower right-hand corner. Try to decide which direction to put this smaller flower. I don't think it really matters. And to finish off the card, I'll add some of the Modern Spring gem stickers using the light green color. And I also wanted to add some sparkle to the dragonfly wings. So I'm using a glitter brush, and this is just a clear glitter. It'll add that beautiful sparkle without the glitter mess, since this doesn't really shed. It will wipe off on your finger, but it's not loose, chunky glitter. So there is my finished card, and I did make 2 using this design. I love the soft colors on this card, perfect for springtime. Now here's another look at the 4 cards I made using some new products from Honeybee Stamps Modern Spring Release. I love the dragonflies, and it's so fun that they have the stamp set and also the lovely layer bugs. Haven't decided which one I prefer. Let me know which one is your favorite. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day.